yo. Welcome to the Kimo Corp podcast. And today we got special guests. Returning is Miss Sharpshooter, bringing her unique views. Oh yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, my bad. I was gonna do something like give a whole background and all that.
No background needed. I'm just a shooter who likes to shoot people and make them rage and take them, send them back to the lobby. Sharpie 6380 on Xbox.
Hope you guys are getting that down there. And also, she's being very modest right now. She does a lot. Got the Twitch going. That's actually how I even ran into her, was through Twitch. And, she was killing it in Killer Instinct. So that's pretty good. But we also have Mr. Sharpshooter in the house. And,
Yep.
let me just tell you about
shooter,
this guy.
better shooter.
This guy is, they're both really good at shooting games. And that's an understatement. Like, me saying really good is like, just really downplaying the whole situation. They're phenomenal at shooting games. I remember I used to play Destiny back in the day and used to constantly get carried. Didn't have to really do much.
Thank you.
Yep.
That was me. That wasn't him, but okay.
I was out there just having a symphony dance of some sort. Just bombs here, bullets there. Mr. and Mrs.
Good old days. The good old days.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot to talk about here.
Yeah, and then we have Hypnotic Goddess, the most beautiful voice you'll ever hear on Xbox Live. Hello?
Oh yeah.
The greatest. You are the greatest support character ever known to mankind. Like, you're always there right behind me in my back pocket. Like, you are the best at adapting. I will say that.
I just play for fun.
That is dope.
Hear that voice though, right? Hear that voice though, right?
It's a little audio candy for you guys. It's a little audio candy.
Right, exactly. Every time that she joins a party, it's like, yo, who's that? Who's that? And I'm like, yo, that's my girl. No, they don't start. That's my girl. Hello?
Hell yeah. Got Hypnotic Goddess in the house. That sounds really cool as a name anyway. That's like, you gotta trademark that. It's already trademarked. So yeah, and I do appreciate you guys for attending. This is it's epic of you to do. It was very short notice, but it's a privilege to have you guys here with me. I was really hyped about this Microsoft acquisition of all those companies. It's been throwing money around, right?
Yeah.
For real. But I don't know what that means for us.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
it's,
much like
yeah, go ahead.
maybe we'll get the exclusives now instead of PlayStation.
Just for Call of Duty though.
Well, no,
And like
see,
Tom Clancy games.
recently they said Microsoft came out and said that PlayStation owners can relax and know that Call of Duty will still be coming out on all platforms indefinitely.
Yeah, but it'll still be like a week early. You know how they did us Xbox users when
Yeah.
PlayStation had it, and they would have it a week earlier than Xbox players. So I'm 100,000% sure that
No, I think
Xbox will
he's
do the
right. I
same
think
thing.
Xbox is gonna keep it like that way towards them. For like
Yeah,
the
they're gonna
next.
keep it multi-platform, but they're still gonna give the Xbox the 1 week exclusive.
Yeah, we're gonna get the extra butter
that
with
would
our
be
bread.
nice.
I could see that because like Sharpshooter was saying, like probably honor any exclusive contracts they got for these upcoming Call of Duties coming out. Like I think all the way up until 20. I think the one coming out in 2023. But after that, they'll probably go back to just giving us some butter to go with our bread.
Hmm.
Which is gonna be great to get that for a change. I wasn't always into the Call of Duty franchise, but I see the appeal in it, and it's a really good system. And I'm glad like the other platforms get to keep it too. I think
Hmm.
that's a pretty smart decision. Cause I don't know if you guys buy like any of those like things from the store, but I think I at least spent $500 on stuff from the store on Cold War alone.
Like the battle pass and stuff.
Yeah, I get the battle pass, and also like they'll come out with like I think they had Rambo one time. I had to buy him. They had the
Yeah, they
Scream.
also had Bruce Willis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had Bruce. I didn't want Bruce Willis because I think he's barefoot. I just couldn't get into that.
And oh yeah,
What game you talking about?
This was
Cold War. And then I think they had the Scarface guy too. No, no, not the Scarface guy. The Scream guy.
yeah, and that was a good one. I didn't get that one, but I
Yeah.
think they'll roll it back around to where I can one day.
Mm.
So those are some pretty hot packs. Now I've been playing Vanguard and I hadn't seen not one bundle I wanted to buy.
Yeah, Vanguard. I don't know about that game.
I didn't buy it, so I don't know.
I've had every Call of Duty, even Vanguard, and I want to say that I haven't played any Call of Duty game as much as I played Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. Oh, and Black Ops, the original Black Ops.
Mm.
The one I
Um,
played the most was Ghost.
Black Ops. No, you played Black Ops 3 the most. Definitely. Like you used to play with us and wake up to it and go to sleep with it. Like we didn't play anything else
Oh
but Black
yeah,
Ops 3.
the good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Call of Duty is yeah, Vanguard is it's not. I see why people don't like it, but I do see why it's something that once you start, it's something just about playing DOS House and Shipment. Those are the only two maps I really like, and I could just play those like for an hour or two straight, just zone out, get some headshots, couple of kill streaks. So it does what it's supposed to do. It just doesn't give me that fun factor that I was getting in Cold War. Like
Yeah.
the movement is crazy. Like I take Vanguard's movement on Cold War any day, but
Yeah, the movement and then the guns, they don't really feel like World War II, but they
yeah,
have a lot of spawn issues. Like people
well,
will be spawning wherever.
yeah. I did one thing where I was just sitting at spawn, just shooting people when they came out after me. Like, so it's crazy. Like it's just crazy, but it's just pretty cool. I just hope I think with this acquisition, we'll see more because they're talking about not doing the yearly Call of Duty releases that they've been doing.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's a great step. I would have loved to see more Cold War content and how Cold War would have evolved over time because it was a pretty good one.
Yeah. Well, they're doing Modern Warfare 2 this year, but I have a feeling they're gonna ruin it.
Tell me more about that. How do you feel? Why do you feel that way?
Well, because of Vanguard, and then what's it called? I forgot who's picking it up. What studio's doing it, but they don't really do a good job.
Is it Sledgehammer?
I don't think so. It's the I want to say Infinity Ward because they don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I said Sledgehammer.
No, I think they did Cold War.
Yeah, that's probably why I said that. But Infinity Ward, I didn't. Yeah, I totally agree with you there. Like, it's anytime they make the Call of Duty, the multiplayer is always pretty cool. But just whatever extra, and I'm the guy who likes the extra. Whatever little extra mode they put out there, whether it's always some type of versus PVE or some sort, I never like it. I'm a pure zombies fan.
Hmm. Zombies? Really? The only zombies in Call of Duty that I liked was the jail one.
That was in Black
Um,
Ops 2, I think.
and I want to say
Yeah,
the one with like the robots, the big ass robots, and you were like in World War II era.
yeah, that's Black
I
Ops
only
2.
play that. Yeah, so those are the only ones that I actually liked because they had an end to it. I don't like being chased. I just don't like being chased by anything. Like the zombies and the fucking. No, I just don't like it. I don't like it. Uh,
Yeah, I could feel you there. Like I liked zombies for the longest, and I sucked at it all the way up until Cold War, and that's because and this is another thing we got to get into. Like they're trying to make games more accessible, but at the
Hmm.
same time, like we're we're losing a little bit of the challenge we used to get back in the day.
Yeah, and I think that's why Cold War Zombies, it was like easy compared to the other ones.
uh,
Yeah, you know what
I
I'm
don't know.
talking
I
about.
didn't play all the other ones. I think I played it like once, and I was like, yo, this shit is not for me. So each one I played like one time only. What
Mm.
about you, Hypnotic? Have you ever played the other ones?
The other one,
Zombies?
zombies. No, I really like, I don't know if it was called Origins or Buried. You know what I'm talking about?
Origins? On which one?
I'm trying to
Buried was
remember
Black
what Call
Ops
of
2.
Duty it was.
That was Black Ops 2 with Buried.
Oh, Black Ops. Okay, I played that one, and then there was the other one. What is it called? It was no, it wasn't zombies. It was like Extraction or something.
Ooh, I
Like
know.
the aliens that come
Destiny.
running. No, no, no. It was a Call of Duty.
Yeah, that was
Call
one
of
of the
Duty
modes
with
I didn't like.
extractions?
I think that was I
Well,
want
that
to
was on Ghost. The
Was it on
aliens?
Ghost? Yes,
With
it
the
was with the
aliens? Yeah,
alien
that was
looking
on Ghost.
things.
Yeah, she liked that one. You liked that
Oh,
one
I
too.
That
loved it. Yes, I
that's the one
Yeah.
I liked
love
the
that
most.
one.
I would play a lot
Yes.
on that one.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Are you kidding me? Why didn't we play that together? Are you kidding? I
I
love that. I
don't
used to
know.
play that all the time. And then I remember Gears. I would play that or Gears of War. I think it was 3, but it was beast mode. And you would play as the alien or you would play as the person and you would have to, act accordingly. Like, yeah, so I remember those times. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, those are the only two I've ever played.
Oh my god, it was so good. That's a
That's
good
nice.
pick, I'm not right?
Yeah, I wish I would have played a little more of it. It sounds interesting. I was just so hooked on. I was disappointed that they didn't have a zombie mode at that time. So I just, me being who I am, I just was like, no, I'm not gonna give it a shot.
Alright. Here's.
Got to stop being like
Thank
that.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Play new games. But yeah, that was a great Call of Duty talk, guys. So yeah, like definitely check out Sharpshooter on Twitch. What's your Twitch?
That's Miss Sharpshooter. My Twitch is Miss Sharpshooter. MS Sharp. And then Shooter, but those zeros for O's.
We're gonna flash that across the screen for people on YouTube. Make sure you lock that in. Go follow that, Miss Sharpshooter. Gonna show you how it's done. Always
Time
out
to
there.
time.
Always entertaining too. Like I stop in and watch all the time. It's good to put on in the background while you're doing homework or something, or whatever you may be doing. Great viewing. Also, in other news, I got me a little Switch, a Nintendo
I've been
Switch.
wanting to get me one of those.
How is it?
It's
Like,
like
did you download like Overwatch and Apex on it?
not yet, and I'm curious to see how that's gonna turn out. Like, if I could have a decent experience with that on the go, it may get me into Apex or Overwatch. So I'm gonna see about that. Because I do like Paladins a lot, the free version of Overwatch, in my opinion.
What do you play on it?
I have been playing Smash and also that new Pokemon game. And I hadn't played a Pokemon game since Pokemon Red, y'all.
For
So
the Game Boy.
yeah, on the original Game Boy, the fat Game Boy. And that was always fun. I used to pretend my Game Boy was a real Pokedex because it was so fat. But yeah, it's a weird world now. Pokemon is totally different. There's too many to count. If they did a poke rap these days, they'd be rapping forever. I used to pride myself on knowing all 150.
Oh yeah, back in the original show, huh? They would do the they would name them all.
Yeah, or the Who's That Pokemon. I don't know if they still do that, but that's just horrible. If you're still doing Who's That Pokemon nowadays, it's gonna confuse these kids. You know, they want to win. They don't want to lose. It's like giving somebody an opportunity to lose. They're all shaped the same. But yes, I say that it's a pretty cool experience. It's like the premium gaming situation as far as like, cause the colors. I also played Mario Kart 8, and my little girl, my daughter, she beat the hell out of me in that game. Wouldn't tell me how to play it either. So yeah.
So I'm reading up here, going back to Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Escape from Tarkov. It's like a popular game on Twitch.
Oh, tell me about it.
So you pretty much I don't know if you could go in there with a squad or another person, and you go and you farm loot, and there's like other people doing the same thing, but your objective is, I guess you could kill each other, and they steal all your loot, and then you could extract it.
What? What's
So
the
pretty
name of this
much you go
game?
in there to Escape from Tarkov. It's on PC,
Is it
but it
free?
says here that I'm not sure,
Oh
but it's
no.
popular on Twitch right now. It says here that Call of Duty is gonna have a mode like that.
Wow. I think I'm gonna like that because
Yeah,
I like looting and stuff, and it seems like it's gonna have progression maybe. Like, can you collect enough loot then go into another game and with the loot that you collected from the previous game?
yeah. So that's yeah. You pretty much like, let's say you get the best loot, you have to extract it to keep it with you. Like if someone kills you, then you can't take. Um, I think you could take some items like you that you stash away, but if you die, then they're gonna take all. You pretty much go out empty-handed. It was like a survival kind of mode, like you want to extract
Oh,
with all your items.
this is
Yeah, I
giving me
think that's
rest
pretty cool.
vibes. It's giving me rest vibes, y'all. I gotta I gotta get into that. I actually wrote the name down of it because I actually plan on checking that out. So yeah.
You play on PC?
Yeah, I just recently made an investment into like a little gaming rig or whatever. And that's a weird world all in itself. I don't even know where to start with that. Ask me if I notice a difference. Not really. So, but yeah, that might
I
give
think
me.
it's more performance based, playing on a PC.
I think you're right there. Cause I did try to play Rust on here, and on the on the console, Rust is like pretty easy and intuitive. But I just can't get down with the keyboard thing, and that's
What
gonna
do you
be.
have, the new Xbox?
Well, I was talking about on the Well, yeah, I do have the Series S. I don't have the X,
Oh,
so
okay.
but I'm gonna get the X and then just hand this down to my daughter. She's kind of mad about stuff like that. She's like, why I'm always getting hand me downs? I wish I was getting hand down shit like that when I was growing up. You know? One thing if it was something wrong with it, it's just I'm just giving it to her. But yeah, I was talking about how I was playing Rest on PC, and that's just like when I boosted up the graphic settings, it's stunning. But it's really more punishing because those people know how to use those mouses out there. So it was like Christmas time, and I was running off towards this hill, and there's this package that Santa dropped off, and I seen it, and I was like, oh yeah, and it's nighttime, ain't nobody out here, so I'm just running to go get it. Finally, get all the loot out of it, had mad guns and everything. So I'm just trying to check everything, get loaded up. And of course, I should have just ran off with the loot, but I wasn't thinking. And some dude ran up to where the box was and just shot me down. And I just immediately raged quit. So that was the end of my Rust PC adventure. I haven't gotten back on since.
Gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. But yeah, what about you? You played on PC?
I only used to play World of Warcraft.
That's what I really want to get into, something like that, because I hear that's a real good gaming experience.
Yeah, I played that. That was the only game. It's
I
pretty fun.
played this one game called Comedy Night on PC. And the idea behind it is like it's a virtual stage that you can get on, and you're supposed to do stand up. Yeah.
Well, like on your mic or something?
Yeah, you can get on your mic and then just they have a little avatar up there, and it'll mouth move
Uh,
and yours move, and everybody in the crowd could either boo you or heckle you or whatever.
and the people in the crowd are like actual like people, like real life people.
Absolutely. I'm thinking
Oh
about
wow,
doing
that's
a video on it, but it's just so
uh-huh.
you just don't know what can happen. Like I don't have enough control over the environment. Cause I had somebody come in and said, "There's like somebody popped into a room and then hit the stage and tried to do something, and then he got off the stage, and the next dude was like, the dude that was on before me is a child rapist."
What the hell?
Yeah, and I was like, whoa. He's like, yeah, he's out here grooming children in the community, and I'm like what? That's crazy. He's like, I seen him do it. I'm like, you seen him groom the children?
What?
Like, why are you? Don't talk to us about it. Talk to the police. That was my whole point. Like, I wasn't trying to say I don't
Yeah.
care about the children. But that's not what we're here for.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
There was this PC game I was playing called Comedy Night. And you
Right?
basically get a virtual stage and do stand up, and there's real people in the audience. Excuse me. And they can heckle you and all that stuff like real stand up.
You're echoing off him.
It's just a little slight. Oh, there we go.
What's the other question you had?
Let's see.
The racial question you had.
Oh, you wanted to get into that?
Yeah,
I thought
we
we,
can.
I thought you said no.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not drunk. When I am drunk, then I'll say we can't have that conversation anymore.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and turn back to the other page. We'll hop into that one. Appreciate you for being willing to have that conversation.
Of course, of course. And I'm not able, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this is definitely one of those conversations that I want to have because I'm sure everybody's gonna give an honest experience on things, and I value everybody's view. So let's see.
It's just with a pretense, it's a very difficult conversation for me to have because my father is in Korea, and that's like a trade ship for like where the Africans were. Uh, that was their trade spot, St. Croix, where my
Mm,
father's from. So I literally don't know where my father's from, and I don't have a great relationship with him. So my personal experience is very biased. So that's why I didn't want to have this conversation. But I'm willing to. Shit.
well, let's do it.
Nah, yeah, I'm willing to.
And it's great that I can get your unique view, especially with your standpoint that you just announced there. So this is going to be really interesting. Did we want to do the traveling while black thing, or did we want to just jump right to the honest conversation about race and the use of the N word?
So both with the traveling while black shit, real quick.
Mhm.
There are certain countries, or I think anywhere else. I think if you're in the northern part of the U.S. and you travel, you won't like if you go to New York, you won't experience as much as you would in Florida or Georgia or Virginia. You know, the southern states.
Mhm.
And outside of the country, I'm pretty sure it would be much worse. Um, because, like, let's say Korea, for example. I've been researching Korea a lot because I'm very attracted to that culture, and I've been looking into it. And with Korea, personally, um, they are very into themselves. So if you're not Korean, like they look at you funny or they look at you different. So me, as half Puerto Rican, half black, I'm just sitting there like, how would they sit there and be like, oh, like I would just be like a puppet to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying like most of them. If I was to travel to like Korea, they would be like, oh my God, your hair, and I don't like my hair being touched, and oh my God, you speak Spanish, teach me Spanish, or what do you say? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just funny, funny to them. I'm pretty sure Hypnotic would feel the same way. Like if Hypnotic went to Korea, she would be like an object of entertainment, and
So do you,
like
so like you're one who gets offended if somebody asking you to teach them Spanish would offend you.
no, 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 absolutely not.
Okay.
But if somebody sits there and says, "Oh my God, your hair is so funny. Your hair is so different. Your hair is so whatever," like I get a lot of things based on my hair, you know.
Mm,
Um, and even my in-laws, like my in-laws, when I first came here, like they were sitting here touching my hair and like touching it, and it's just like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you feel less than, you know,
mm,
um, when you're in a different culture because I was not exposed to Mexican culture when I first came to California. When I first came and moved with my husband, you know, So it was a culture shock. It was like a different environment. And, I come from New York where nobody really sits there and does that. But when I met his family and when I was with him, it was like, oh my God, I like your hair when it was braided, or oh my God, like how does this happen when it's curled? And they didn't believe me when I said that I had curly hair because they always saw it in a puff or they always saw it straight. In other cultures, like they just don't see it the way that you see it, and they don't mean ill intent. I'm not saying that all of them do. They don't mean anything ill by it, but it just makes you feel personally like you're just like something different that they get to touch, and
Or like a pear in a produce aisle.
yeah, you're like a new amusement. I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen this before. Let me go ahead and dissect it. Like touch it, you greet it, you see how it acts, and I'm just like you. I'm another human being just like you are. And the way you don't like it when people plant their eyes when you're on a group chat, like I don't like my hair being touched. Period.
Mm.
So my take.
Yeah, I don't like my hair being touched either.
Tell me more
I'd
about
be
that.
getting mad.
What's been your experience, Hypnotic?
Yeah.
Mine really doesn't have anything to do with culture. It's always because, I guess, because I'm Native American, we have that long, straight black hair, and everybody just always wants to touch it, and it's like we don't like our hair getting touched because to us it's like bad luck.
Mm. And that's
So
wow.
I don't like touching it. I don't like. But everybody just that's like I guess the main trait in person. Everybody always wants to touch is my hair.
It's an interesting situation there. Me being let's go. No, no. I want to hear. You got any takes on this, Mr. Sharpshooter?
Not that I could think of.
And that's okay. Because it's definitely, your presence is welcome. You're here to hear the views and stuff too on this too. Because me, I don't really have any
I think
takes either.
no, but I think y'all's take is different. Like,
Uh,
okay, so
well,
let's say
well,
you.
I don't think I would like anybody touching my hair, like regardless, anyways. So I
Mm,
kind of understand what you guys are saying on that. But when I was living out in New York, and over there, like Mexicans are really short. I mean,
Mhm.
people didn't think I was Mexican.
oh
Yeah,
wow.
that's true. That's true. That's absolutely true because in New York we have Mexicans. We have an abundance of every race, right?
Hmm.
But Mexicans tend to be short, right?
Yeah.
So me, when I meet Mr. Sharp and we're on like Halo 3 and he's telling me that he's a 6 foot Mexican in California, I'm like, like yo, you bugging? Like, no, there is no such thing because all the Mexicans in New York are really short. So it's literally a concept of understanding and what you're exposed to, right? So Mr. Sharp was never exposed to other races. Eh, eh, um, he wasn't exposed to other races in the sense of like white people didn't really interact with him. His other Hispanics that were not Mexican didn't really interact with him. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really have that culture shock that he had when he
Hmm.
moved to New York. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? When he moved to New York, it was like, oh my God,
Mm.
there's Mexicans who are 6 feet tall. There are black people who he loves. I feel like he's in love with like the black culture and the black existence. You know what I'm saying? Like those are his people.
Yeah.
And he didn't have that when he was in California because it's mainly like, oh my God, you're Mexican. You
Mm.
belong in You're
It's mostly
gonna,
Hispanics,
you know what I'm saying?
anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different exposure that he got when he was in California and then when he was in New York. Like in New York, he got to experience all
Mhm.
cultures. So
Yeah.
That's great.
um,
I'll
yeah.
definitely have Mr. Sharpshooter at the cookout. He's always welcome.
I mean, he can cook a little bit based on what
No,
I've
no.
told
He
him,
said I'm
but
invited to the cookout.
Yeah, that's
He's not
testament
talking about
enough that
me
he
yeah,
knew what I
cooking.
was talking
but
about.
you're
And you,
welcome. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. You're
He said
welcome.
I'm
Because
invited to the
he,
cookout.
okay,
I
but
said
you
I'm.
wouldn't have been invited if you hadn't been with
Oh,
me,
okay. Yeah.
okay? So,
Yeah.
hello.
you're in on your own merit, man.
Always gotta take credit.
No, I absolutely need to take credit because if he was just in California and he never lived in New
Yeah.
York, he would
No.
have never
Yeah.
experienced that. And he would have never seen the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So that's what
Oh,
I'm
because you
saying.
think
Is
he
like,
would have stayed in California the whole entire time?
no, he would have stayed in California the whole entire time, and he would not have experienced the culture shock that
No,
is
no.
New
You're right.
York.
Yeah, you're right.
Like he figured out that he got along best with black people or people of color or people who have been through the same things or struggles with
Mhm.
him if he had not moved to New York. He never
Yeah.
experienced
Yeah.
that in California because it's in California it's like you stick to your own, you know? So
Yeah.
Mexicans stick to their own, white
Mhm.
people stick to their own, black people stick to their own. In New York, we all integrate within each
Yeah.
other. So he would not have ever experienced the fact that he relates most to black people if he hadn't moved to New York. That's my statement.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. She's right though. She's right. Black people are like they're like the coolest people I've
Yeah.
ever known.
Yeah.
On behalf of the black people,
And
I
they've
thank you.
never yet and they've never done him
Mm.
dirty. They've
Mhm.
never done him dirty. The only people who have done him dirty, guess what? Whites. Hello?
Mhm.
Okay, okay, go ahead and end it that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because
Yeah.
not all white people are like that, but the white people have been the ones who have done us dirty. Me and him.
And I know what you mean about
Mhm.
when you say, and that's another thing I want to talk about. When you say white people, we know what you mean though. We know that you
Uh-huh.
mean white supremacists. That's what you're really saying there.
It's not even white supremacists. It's like just people that feel entitled to.
Mm,
But
Just
I
people
think
that feel
he
entitled to make you feel less than.
mm.
but that,
No?
he's probably right about that with like the white like if they're gonna be that way, aren't don't they think they're above?
Mm.
They do. They absolutely do.
Yeah, so that's what part of what he's saying, like, like white supremacists like racist pretty much.
They are.
Yeah.
They are racist.
And the crazy thing about that is like I recently started because the majority of my life I went to black schools, and I
Mm.
didn't realize black schools was a thing until I got into high school and went to like a school more integrated, and I was like, wow, this is a different feeling here. You know, in some classes, if a race war popped off, I felt like I'd have been okay. In other classes, I don't think I would have fared so well. So it was one of those situations to where it was definitely a unique experience, and I got to really get the views and what I needed to kind of continue through life. Because then I started working in a corporate atmosphere, and I work with all kinds of races and stuff like that. So it's at the end of the day, it ends up kind of being like I'm kind of lost where I was going with this.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So hypnotic. So hypnotic.
Well,
I
Yeah.
know. I know you've had a different experience because you were married to a white man, right? And
hmm
he had different experiences and he had different outlooks on everything. So, what is your experience with race and seeing race as it is, as opposed to agreeing with your husband?
um, there's so much.
Yeah, I know. That's why I
It
asked
was just
you.
so much I had to put up with because I live in a pretty much country bumpkin town, and
Huh.
like I always got the dirty looks because I was with a white man, and me being brown, they automatically think I'm Hispanic. And then even the Hispanics here will give me the dirty looks because I'm with the white. So it's like I was getting dirty
Right.
looks with no matter what race because it was like, I'm in the middle of both colors. That in this town, I'm in a very racist town to begin with anyways. And it was just a lot. Like it's not a fun experience, but it does humble you and teach you to, you know, once you have kids, which I have, my two boys, and I have to teach them, the difference between certain, we're all different colors, but there's certain colors that will look at you, differently. So I don't know.
So do you
I can't.
think in the best of your ability that you have trained your boys to look past race?
Yes, yes, I have. My boys love all colors. They don't. Well, my boys don't see color. Like they know there's a color, but they don't see it. To them, is
And
you're
and
just
I
another
think that
human being.
right. I think you're a great mother, and I appreciate you for teaching your sons that. I think that more women need to be like that. More women need to be more following in like my children should choose what they want to be instead of let's just follow a father, you know?
Yes,
Because like men have a lot of impact on their children's lives, whether they believe it or not.
and especially
And
with their boys.
yeah, especially with their boys. And if their father grows up to be a racist bigot who wants to carry around guns just to shoot people who are not like them, that's what their kids are gonna grow up as. And I admire you, Hypnotic, for like drawing your kids from that. And I appreciate that so much.
I
Thank you,
agree. I
thank you.
second that.
So speaking of race, I don't know if y'all watch the news, but they talk about how in colleges it's not a set thing, but they're thinking of having classes where they're teaching about race and what really happened back then. Now, obviously, to me, the majority of the white people, they're the ones that are trying to fight against it and think that they don't need to be teaching, you know, what
Hmm.
really happened back then with race. Um, what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I got an interesting take on that. And I'm glad you
All
said
right,
that
what's it take? What's it take? What's it taking?
because I could center this one. I could focus this statement. But I always had a. This started with my dad. My dad had an issue with the type of stuff we learn in social studies. So he started
Hmm.
pulling me to the side, and when I'd have assignments, he'll say, "No, this is what really happened, but go ahead and put this on the paper, though." You know what I mean? And I always valued that. Like, I even went in and said certain things to the teacher and challenged the teacher in social studies class over some of those conversations. And she told me, she couldn't tell me I was lying. So I do the same thing with my daughter. I made her watch all of the hidden color video documentaries. And those are real good documentaries to watch. Now, the creator, I don't know about so much. He's done some things recently that makes me question his authenticity. But the stuff that he reports on is stuff that you can look up and see the facts on for yourself. So I definitely suggest checking out the Hidden Colors documentary. But I'll be putting her up on game. I'll let her know, like, because you're a black woman in America, you're gonna have to work twice as hard. You can't. You definitely got to make sure you're respected, and you can do anything you want to do. It's the type of stuff I try to drive home. So yeah, it's yeah, I get it. I support it. Do it. Let them know. And because if you don't know your history, you're kind of doomed to repeat it.
I think that's an absolute fact. I think that the fact that they don't want to concentrate on critical race theory, the fact that they don't want to acknowledge the fact that they put black people into uh, slave or education to prison pipeline. I think that the fact that they don't want to offer reparations for the fact that they violated, like,
Mm.
just the fact that I don't even know what part of Africa my father's from. They don't want to acknowledge that.
It's kind of
So
fucked up, isn't it?
yeah, it's 100,000% fucked up because it's like they don't want to acknowledge the fact that they did something wrong and they are the minority, even though they are the greatest population. They are the minority because they're not from the U.S. When they say, hey, go back to your country, motherfucker, you go back to your fucking country. Guess what? That's England and or Spain. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you don't belong. You know what I'm saying? Like, these white people feel like so entitled, and it's not all white people. But it's the fact that they won't even listen to you. It's the fact that they won't even acknowledge what you're saying. They won't even acknowledge your pain. They won't sit there and say, I did, not me personally, but my grandparents, my
Yeah, their
ancestors,
ancestors.
they've done you wrong. I understand that you're in pain. I understand that I'm living better than you. I understand that things are easier for me than they are for you. They do not see that. I've lost a lot of friends, especially with the Trump versus Hillary. I've lost a lot of friends during that time period because after Trump took office, a lot of things went wrong, and I would ask them, "This is what you voted for. Do you think that this is okay?" And they would say, "Oh, no, the people who did vote for Trump."
Yeah.
The people who did vote for Trump, and they would sit there and be like, "Oh, well, I don't see my life better than a black person's. I don't see that my life is greater than But that's not the point. The point is that he's telling these people that they are very fine people. You know what I'm saying? They are very fine people when they are attacking and rolling over black people. When they are sitting there and diminishing our value as human beings.
Mm.
As human beings, they sit there and they do not see it. Just because they were not there in January 6th, they see their hands clean. They voted for Trump. So, I don't know. I don't know. Like people just don't see it because it doesn't affect them.
No.
That's interesting that you say that because, like you were saying, it's not all white people because I had a few, like at my workplace, they would ask me, like whenever something racial happens, and the thing about it is, at first it was kind of offensive, but then you had to kind of think about the thought behind it. So I had this one dude that just hit me up and he was like, "Hey man, how you feeling? I know this whole thing with with the cops and stepping on what's his name? George. What's his last name? 'Cause I want to make sure I get it right. I'll be having brain fog sometimes. George Floyd. Yeah, George Floyd. Like when that happened, they were asking me how I felt about it and was wondering how they could be better people and things of that nature. So I was like, this is an interesting conversation to have. It's an uncomfortable conversation, I'd imagine. but the fact that it's even being brought up is pretty good. Like I saw a lot of things come from that was kind of positive, you know.
You're
So
lucky.
I think there's, you know, I
You're
think
very lucky. I think you're very lucky, King,
how you figure?
Green, because I've tried to have conversations with that, like that, with white people.
Hmm.
Okay, no, not even white people, because there was a person that I went to college with, right? And I said, listen, if you support Trump, you're literally anti everything that he stands for. So you're anti me having freedom of speech. You're anti me being successful. You're anti me being able to touch the cookie jar, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I had a person that I went to college with, and I lent her money, and she still owes me money.
Hair.
But whatever. I was in a college dorm with her, and she was a Chinese woman. She was adopted by white parents, and she said, "I am a Trump supporter, and I don't feel like I've been racist because I've been nothing but nice to you." That's what she said, and I'm
Wow.
like, "Listen, you can have a private conversation if you'd like, but I can also." I'm also entitled to my opinion, and she did not like that. She removed me, she blocked me, she deleted me, whatever the case may be. Okay, so in situations like that where you were raised, she's Chinese American. I don't know what she is, but I know she's like Asian. I know she's Asian because she looks Asian. Like, that's what she is. But she was adopted by white parents who were Republicans. Okay. So her experience has been very different from me, that I was raised by my Puerto Rican mother. Like, hello? That's all I was raised with. But she said, I do not believe I was racist because, hello, I interacted with you.
Yeah, that's
What the
not
fuck does that mean?
it's not enough, yo. It's like being black is a whole, even just being a person of color, you know what I mean, it's just a whole different unique experience all in its own. So, you know, like for me, like I used to do things like if I go into a store and I got my book bag on, or I got something in my hand in the convenience store, I keep my hand in clear sighted cameras because I don't even want to be looked at as if I'm getting ready to steal something.
Right.
You know, I walk in the
Right.
stores, try to volunteer my book bag. Like, I could put my
But
book bag up here.
But let me tell you, King, even before you join, even before you go into that shop, they already have this preconceived notion of you're a criminal based on your skin color alone.
I know it. I'm fighting against it every day.
But that's what people do not understand. Is like your skin color does not define you. Like, you could be the sweetest person in the world, and be just because you're a different complexion. I mean, I was arrested. I've been in jail. I've been arrested with nothing on me, and I've been arrested and gone to prison
Hmm.
based on my color alone.
Now that's crazy.
Because the other two people were white. It was a white woman. She was let off, and then the other one was an old lady, and I was the one arrested. Me. And I didn't have nothing on me. I had nothing on me. I had no nothing. They decided to arrest me.
That's crazy.
That's just the way of the game. Like, it's just based on the color of your skin. Like, nobody understands that. It is based on the color of your skin. And people do not understand that. People do not understand your worth. They did not see that I had 2 degrees. They did not see that I went to college. They did not see that I was an avid volunteer for homelessness. They didn't see any of that. They just saw that I was brown and that I was useless. That's exactly what they equated it to. Brown
So
is
I had
useless.
2 degrees. That's dope.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. It don't do nothing for me now because I'm unemployed. I'm living off my man, Mr. Sharpshooter. Thank you for all the props. He gets all the props.
Race is definitely one of those things that I wish moving forward would be a little less part of conversations. You know, but it definitely defines a lot. Like even now, like I just kind of moved out to like a wider area, and I'm scared to play music loud. Cause I seen one person play music loud, and then they were trying to discipline their child. I can't. Hold on. Hello?
Uh huh.
Oh, I thought you was talking. I saw your mic moving.
Yeah, she's echoing.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like this one lady was trying to discipline her child, and it went on for about 15 minutes. They was right in an apartment above me or whatever. But then somebody actually called the cops on the ass over here. Now, usually in black communities, when we hear that thing going down, we don't get involved, for multiple reasons. Number one, we don't want cops in the area because we're probably doing things that we don't want cops to see.
Invite some people.
Oh, what you say?
I'm seeing if anybody joins this podcast.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All are welcome. But yeah. So I look out the window and I just see them like putting her on the car and everything. They just arresting her. I don't know what all occurred, but
Yeah, and that's sad. That's sad because literally 90% of the people that they're arresting are like people of color. They're not white people. They're not white people. And white people, they literally get to take their drug, enjoy their drug, and whatever they do, it has no consequence. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's her face? Caitlyn Jenner.
yeah.
She was able to kill somebody with her car, and it was not even front page news.
Hold on, what? Caitlyn Jenner killed somebody with her car?
Yes.
Oh.
She killed somebody. She drove somebody.
I didn't know about that.
It's crazy.
Yeah, she drove into a person and they killed somebody. They had a death, and it was not even reported. That's just
crazy.
because.
Meanwhile, they took the Hispanic guy that drove that 18-wheeler that killed somebody, trying to send him to prison.
Crazy.
There's this book, I don't know if y'all read, but there's this book it's called like Elijah Turner, the proclamation. That helped me with like I don't know, it kind of gave me an eye opener or understanding to what like black people or people of color has to go through with all these these incidents that happen.
What did it say?
It's like some of the stories that are on that book. It's like, I mean, I guess the writer, who wrote it, like some of their stories. I mean, they say it's non-fictional, but some of the stories that he wrote, like a boy with a toy gun at a park, you know, there was an actual story that happened about that and
That's
how
happens
they
multiple times.
tried, where they let the cops
But
try
but
to hide what he
yeah,
did,
yeah. The
you
thing,
know,
he
and
was
even like,
white.
yes. And then like there's a story about and it was a long time ago that happened back in the day where uh, a family sent a little girl to the grocery store, and um, two men, or was it a little boy? I think it was a little boy actually. They sent him to the grocery store to get, some groceries, and he had given a white little girl a flower, and the guy didn't like that, so two other white men basically kidnapped him and hung him out in the sticks just for giving a little white girl a flower.
Right,
And how they went to court for it, and they got away with it. Like they
right.
were like, so
Would
I
you
don't know.
imagine
It's
if
just,
that was like Corbin,
yeah, like I
or
would
you know what I'm
be
saying?
raising hell. Like that's like no. And for white people to just like they just sweep things under the rug, you know.
They absolutely
I
do.
don't know.
So
But
there was
that
this
book I read
case.
it.
There was
What
this
case?
case. There was this case in New York, right, where a black boy was in a Jewish community and he got run over by a Jewish, I want to say like a pastor or something. He
A
run
rabbi.
over, he ran, yeah, a rabbi. He ran over the black boy. And in New York, this was in New York, and it was in Brooklyn, and the black boy was run over by a Jewish rabbi, and they said, we're not going to go ahead and investigate it because they had their own laws in their section because they were Jewish. So they took their their consequences or repercussions on running over a person because they donated so much to the fucking mayor. They donated so much money to the mayor that they were able to have their own laws and have their own consequences and have their own repercussions in a Jewish community where they literally killed a black child and nothing ever came of it. Like literally, that guy was literally transferred to another whatever, to another whatever the Jewish community calls it, another church. It's literally ridiculous.
It's crazy.
It's
Yeah, I just
literally
can't understand
ridiculous.
how white people can kill, people of color, and they get put on the witness protection plan, and it's like they're the ones that did the crime. It's just it's just mind-boggling to me.
There's always been two different judicial systems.
Two different Americas. There's always been. There's a white America and a black and a POC America.
Let's go ahead and get you a
Facts.
proper introduction. You definitely have a new challenger
Camera.
entering the podcast. Definitely introduce yourself. Happy to have you, by the
Oh
way.
hell nah. Play it. I didn't know there was a podcast. I thought it was just a regular Xbox party.
Oh no, you're in on a podcast, and we're live and happy to have you here.
Oh my god. But hello everyone. My name is Emerald Libra. I am a gamer by heart and a Libra by chance.
That's clever. I like that. That is dope.
Shot by Martin.
Emerald United.
Here you go.
Well, welcome. Definitely. Just to give you a little idea of what we're having here, we're kind of having an honest discussion about race right now, and everybody's kind of giving their individual takes on their experience. Which definitely seems to be unique. What we've heard so far has been very, very enlightening. So you're definitely welcome to add to that conversation if you like. You don't have to right now or nothing though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had myself on mute because I was talking to someone. But,
Okay.
yeah, I don't really have nothing. I'm just listening in and see what's going on and get my little feedback.
Yeah, and that's I appreciate you. So yeah, just yeah, you're welcome. We're in here. So what about the use of the N word? What's everybody's standpoint on that? It's really hard to draw a line in the sand on that one, I'd imagine.
No, I don't. I'm based on my father's heritage. He's from St. Croix. So that's like a trade point between where the slaves were sold or whatever the case may be. But I don't use the N word because I feel like that's a win for the white people, regardless of whether you use the ER or the A. Like literally, that's what they called them when they were getting whooped. That's what they said when they wanted to degrade them. And even if they say, oh, yeah, we're taking it back by using the A word, the A at the end of it, it's absolutely ridiculous because it's like that's what they called you, and you're sitting there replacing the ER with an A. You're finding it okay. I do not agree with the N word in any way, shape, or form, and I'm half black, and I just find it degrading and a win for the white folk. That's just my personal opinion.
But how's it a win for the white folks? Is what I want to understand. What makes it a win?
It
I think
makes
she
it a
just
win
explained it.
because that's what they used to call us when we were getting whooped. And just because we replaced the ER with an A, it's still the same word. It's still the same word to me. Whether you use it with an ER or with an A or as affection, it's still the same word. So it's equally disrespectful. That's just me. So that's why I don't use it in any way, shape, or form.
What's your take
Mm.
on it, Emma?
I mean, my take on it is it's a word, and we've been using it, and it's just like embedded in certain black
No,
cultures.
not we.
Well,
They,
I'm Afro
they.
Latin, so I can say it.
Okay, but they no, but they, I'm the same exact thing that you are, but they have been saying
I
that.
know, but we don't say the ER. We say, like you said, we say ended with an A, and it's if you're comfortable with it, you're comfortable. If you're not, you're not. As long as a white person ain't using it around you,
I just
it's
think it's
like
ignorance. It's ignorance. It's like if we called a white person a cracker, right? What is the other definition of cracker? What do they call
there's no equivalent to
themselves?
a cracker
No,
with the
no,
N word.
no. But if we call them a cracker, right? What is their
Mm.
equivalent to? Hey, I'm taking that word back, and I'm calling myself a cracker instead of a cracker. You know what I'm
But that's
saying?
the whole point.
Like
There's no equivalent to the N word to a white person. Even though
exactly.
you call
So
them a
why are we
cracker, it
using
still has some
it?
weight around it.
Yeah, I don't think they really
No,
get mad about
no.
being called a cracker, man. I think it seems like you even hear people on radio say, like I could have swore I heard Charlemagne say it within this between this year or last year during Donkey of the Day, and
Right.
he didn't get stoned down over
Yes.
it. So I don't know. Like my whole thing with it is, of course, I respect your standpoint, Miss Sharpshooter, because I totally do feel like I try to move away from saying the word as much as I can. Now, I definitely grew up kind of like how Emerald grew up in a way, I'd imagine, because all the media I consumed would just say it freely. Everything I watched would say it freely. You know what I mean? Like it just felt like part of being black to me in a way. Like, you know, you're part of a secret club, and I could say this, and if you say it, I get to, you know, punch you in the face because you're supposed to be said. You know, that's
No,
but
no.
no, I
I
mean
believe
that's
I believe that if they say it with the ER or with the, whether they say it with the ER or whether they say it with the A, it's equally disrespectful because no matter how they interpret the word NIGG,
I just want to clear
ER
something
or
too real quick. Like
NIGGA,
when I
they're still
said you, I
degrading
wasn't meaning
us.
like y'all, anybody
No,
in this
no.
party. I just wanted to be clear on that. I wasn't
I'm just.
saying.
I understand. No, I understand, King. I understand,
Yeah.
King, and I understand Emerald. I understand both positions. However, if you're using it and you're saying that you're taking your word back, you're not taking your word back. You're literally contributing to what they're saying, what they have called us.
So
So
let me
whether
ask you
you call
this,
your
Char. Let me ask you this.
yes, go
When
ahead.
they use the word derogatory for a female was bitch, and then over the years, people start using that word as a term of endearment or using that word for friends, you know, that they're really close to,
Yes,
and
I do
only those
that.
friends can say that word. So
I
what's the
do
difference
that.
between someone saying bitch and someone saying the N word?
Yes, I understand that, and that's a completely valid point, right?
It is
However,
though.
when you think of the word bitch, that has not been encapsulated with something that has been derogatory,
Mm-hmm.
or or it has not been something where someone has been less than, right? So with the word NIGGA, right? When the white people sat there and slapped our backs and
Mm.
said, hey, you are an NIGGA, they were not saying, hey, this is a sign of affection, hey, this is a sign of endearment, right? But bitch has never been associated with something that has been less than. Like, even in white people culture or Cleopatra era, they have never been called a bitch, and it has been degraded, right? It has never been a woman who is less than. Bitch has always been a female dog. However, when I use bitch, it has never been, hey, your people have been oppressed, your people have been whipped on, your people have been less than. When I say bitch, when I say, hey, bitch, how you doing? It's like, hey, bitch, it's endearment. However, the N word has been a focus of disgust, a focus of, hey, this person is less than, hey, this person is disgusting, hey, this person is black. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get you.
So the N word has literally been associated with segregation. The N word has literally been associated with disgust. Bitch has never been associated with disgust. Literally,
Well,
in my book,
well,
in
no,
my book, in my
I
book.
gotta challenge you there, man. I gotta challenge you there. Like
Yeah,
to
yeah, go
to
ahead.
to me, the B word itself is I use it in ways like if I'm like killing somebody on Xbox and they die and I'm like, oh, got you, bitch. You know, I don't. That's the only time I really like to say it. You know, and I don't feel any kind of way about it. I would never ever. I try like never.
Okay,
I
but
couldn't
have you
even
ever said,
dream.
hey,
You know.
but King, have you ever said, hey, I killed you, N word?
Uh, I don't know. I can't
That
say
You could
for a
say
fact
yes.
that I
You could
never
say yes or
did,
no.
because it's an odd way to form a sentence. I give you
The
that.
difference is that the N word, right?
Yeah.
Which I don't even use, even though I am half black.
Uh-huh.
I don't use it because I find it to be a win towards the white folk. That's me, my take on it. If a person says the N word, whether they are white, whether they are black, whatever, and whether they use the ER or the A at the end, it's disrespectful because when the black people were slaves, that's what they used. They didn't use
Should
bitch. They didn't use bitch. They use the N word. So if they're sitting there saying, "Hey,
No, I'm
N
sorry. I'm
word,"
sorry to laugh. It's just the way she says bitch.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing
no,
at too.
because with bitch, I don't find a bitch. I don't find as an insult.
And
When
you don't
somebody calls
say
me
it
a
like
bitch,
it's an
but
insult. That's
if they call me an N word, I will find that an insult because that's what we were whipped by. Literally, like, hey, you're not doing what you're doing, N word. Let me go ahead and whip you. That's why I don't use it because
Yeah,
that's
but we're not in
literally
slave
something.
times anymore, Shop. So
But
if they even say that
okay,
now, they'll get
but it's a
they'll have
trick,
negative
bro.
conversations to them. They'll have
The
negative
same
conversations to them.
Emerald, the same way that Donald Trump doesn't pay zero taxes is the same way that they have incorporated their vision into you to say, hey, if I use the A instead of the ER, I am relating to you.
They
and I,
can't even say that.
and I get what you're saying, Sharp. And that's an interesting point there. That like yeah, we've been fed media just like I was saying, like throughout my whole life I've seen media that depicted it in a gratuitous manner. Like it was a sign of brotherhood between bros and something that was supposed to, oh, that's my N word, you know what I mean, and whatnot. And I get it.
It was supposed to be something that they took back, but they're not taking anything back when it's still the same word. You're replacing two words with a one. Like literally, you're saying the same thing that they called you when they whipped your back. Like it makes no sense to me.
But nah, but I get it does kind of piss them off a little bit. I'm just gonna be real with you. It does though to see us use it so liberally, and then they're almost chastised for saying it not only by the public, but also if you were they wouldn't dream of going to like a real hood area and just popping off like that. Like
Nope.
like you start popping off like that, there's enforcement behind it. It's almost like a reinforcement of the reason why you shouldn't use the word, because we don't
Should
want
be
them to
saying that word
forget
anyway.
that it shouldn't be said, but I get what you
Okay,
said. We
so
want to let it go
let me
though.
say this. Let me say this. Hypnotic.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Hypnotic. Can you listen to me?
Yeah.
Hypnotic. Okay. So if I was to say hypnotic, hey, what up, my nigga? As opposed to, hey, what up, bitch? Which one would you find more offensive?
The hypnotic's white, so it doesn't have any weight behind
She's
it.
not white. She's not white.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, my.
She's
thought she
Native
was.
American. She's Native. She's Native
Well, because
American.
I'm not black, I'm not. I wouldn't be offended about
No,
the
I
N
know, but
word,
which one would you
I would be
be
with the
more
bitch.
You would be more offended with bitch than
Yeah,
me
but that's
calling you an
because
N
I'm not
word?
the N word. I
Yeah,
mean,
so
I'm
from
not
her
like I'm
standpoint,
not black.
so she
Okay,
can't.
but the N word does not mean you're black. You see what I'm saying?
No,
That's my point.
but it's more
That's
to
my
me.
point.
More people of
I
color
get what
are
you're saying
offended of it,
in the context of the
of that
conversation
word.
and the question. If you were to, she doesn't have any association with the offensive part of the question. I get what you're doing. You're trying to probe it like which one is, but by default, she would have to be more offended by bitch with no context. But with context, I'm sure there's all type of circumstances that'll play into that.
Shirley is like, who are you? Do I
I
know
call her
you?
bitch all
Do
the
we have that kind
time.
of relationship where
Shut
you
up,
be calling me a
Right.
bitch? If we ain't got that kind of relationship and you calling me a bitch, that it becomes
Okay.
offensive automatically.
Now, if
So
you ask me about the N
okay,
word, I
so
do side more with you because, like, I've always been like, black people are always attracted to me. Like we always are friends. Like, I have more friends of color than I do white people. I don't have a whole lot of white people, and I don't have a whole lot of Hispanics. And a lot of my black friends, because we've been friends for so long, they even like, you've earned your black card. You can say the N word because they'll call me the N word. Like they'll be like, "What's up?" And you know, I'll say what's up, but I won't say it back because to me, I do feel out of respect, you don't say the N word because to me, it has to do with the slavery and all, you know, what the people of color had to go through with that N word. And I feel like it's, if I don't say it, I'm respecting those, may they rest in peace, that had to die. Their final words is that N word.
Definitely appreciate you for that.
And I will not say the N word for that. But and like I said, all my friends, they've given me the approval, they've given me the okay. They say I've earned my black card. They make jokes that I'm black. I'm not, you know, Native American or brown. I am black, but I just can't bring myself to say that.
Appreciate you.
I
Appreciate you
appreciate that.
100,000% Hypnotic.
That is
What
that
about
is
you,
some real
Sharp?
stuff right there.
What about you, babe? That you
I don't say it
experience a
either because
whole.
of that reason,
No, I
man.
know you don't say it, but I know that you've been exposed to many different cultures in New York than you have in California. So, what's your perspective?
I'm sure you've been called it by now. You know, with
Yes, I have
indirectly.
been. Yes, and
So
they just in New York they just throw that word around like it's a everyday word. It doesn't matter. Well, I wouldn't say white people because I mostly work with blacks and Puerto Ricans and stuff, but they throw that word around
mm,
like it doesn't matter. I
And
don't know,
that's what my
but
problem is. That's what
no,
my
I
problem
get it too.
is.
No, and I see it that way too. I always looked at it that way. I'm like, why you guys you guys just say that word? It's like,
I feel like black people have said, I feel like black people have said, let me take that word back and let me put an A at the end, right?
mm-hmm.
Let me put the A at the end. And let me take that word back. And it's not that. Like, you're not taking the word back. You're literally giving them an extra leverage. You're literally saying, hey, this is my word, and you're going to manipulate it however you see convenient. And that's why I will never say the N. That's why I have said the N word before, but I try my best not to say the N word. Even though I'm capable of saying the N word, I do not want to because I feel like that is a privilege that white people have over us. And I don't want, they already have enough privilege. So I don't want to give them any more privilege. So I do not want them to say the N-word, whether it be ER or A. I do not want to give them any more than what they already have on us because they already have better jobs than us. They already have better status than us. They already have, regardless of whether they were born into a silver spoon or whatever the case may be, they are lucky to be white people in America because behind the wheel, I've got turned over. I have been turned over. I have been
passed
what's it
over.
called? No. When cops have pulled me over,
Okay.
they have literally said, "Don't put your hand behind the wheel. Don't put your hand behind. Don't grab your purse." My experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was an ACS worker, and I was going to a courthouse to fucking fight for a child who was in danger, and I was pulled over, right?
Yeah.
So I went to the back to get my purse, and they were like, do not get my purse because I'm a woman of color. Me and my coworker was also a woman of color. So I was like, okay, let me just keep my hands on the wheel. Whatever. I was scared for my life. I believe that a white woman in the same situation would not have the same circumstances that I was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had to sit there and hold my wheel and just tell them, hey, I'm an ACS worker. I'm here to protect the children. And here's my ID, and I will reach for it when you tell me to.
Mm.
When you tell me to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's different than a white woman who would easily be able to reach for their purse, reach for their ID, show their ID, and whatever. That's
yeah.
why I do not feel that the ER is anything as equivalent to an A. The N word, when they say the N word with the ER or the A, that's literally the situation that I think about.
So let me ask you this.
Because
I wanna kind of piggyback off what you're saying, the sharpshooter, and kind of bring it over to Emerald and ask Emerald, like, in situations to where you're having conversations, with another black person and a white person is present, and you use the N word, how do you feel when that happens? Is there any feelings at all?
Being
Emerald
prevalent,
United.
yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. But being prevalent is, I mean, from me growing up in a black neighborhood, growing up in the ghetto, growing
Even
up
you
around
being a
black
gay
people,
man,
and no,
even
no,
you
I know,
being a
but
gay man.
it's just, it's in our vocabulary. We don't really think too much about it because we grew up saying the word. And if there's a white person around, we're not gonna really change in front of this white person if we know them. But if we don't know them, we're not gonna really say it out of respect because we don't want to say it. And then they're like, "Oh, they saying the N word." This and that's like, we don't
Out
even
of
know you like
respect
that.
for what? Out of respect for the white man?
No, because we don't know who this person is and what they can do and what they trying to
That's
do
what
and
I'm
stuff like that. It's like
saying,
a
Emerald.
white person, a
That's what
black
I'm
neighborhood.
saying.
That's the only reason. It's like it's a person, a white person, a black neighborhood. We don't know why he here and what he doing
That's what I'm
here.
saying, Emerald. That's why you cut the word out automatically. That's why you cut it out.
Cause I
But
got I got
it's
a
like
Emerald,
some cases.
Emerald.
But
Okay, so
I don't
Emerald,
think
so
they're ever
Emerald,
gonna.
so
I don't
Emerald.
think
I
they're
know
ever gonna
you're.
do that though. I don't think they're ever gonna
Yeah,
cut it out.
it's
No,
just involved in
It's
our
just like another,
language,
yeah,
our
and
vernacular.
they
It's like
just
I
it's
know,
in there.
Emerald, but like, can it
Cause
be
I be saying the
ignorance?
N word without really thinking about it. It just
But
comes out
Emerald,
smooth.
can it be ignorance? Can it be ignorance? Yes or no?
No, no.
I don't
How
think
is
it's
it
on
not
purpose. It
ignorance?
might be programming.
Emerald, how can it not be ignorance?
Just like you know Spanish and English language that's embedded in
Uh huh.
you, it
Uh
comes
huh.
natural, so you don't really be thinking about it. That's how the N word is in the black
But
community.
Emerald, there's a difference. When I say "Hola, cómo estás," and you say "Hello,
Muy
how
bien, ¿y
are
tú?
you?" Yeah, when you say "Hello, how are you," that is a very big difference in translation, right?
Because you're being
How
cordial with an
but I
individual.
think what he's saying.
But Emerald, you're using a word that was used to oppress all of our kinds. And
Yeah,
you're
but I
saying,
know that.
hey, let me go
I
ahead
know that was
and
used
make
to
it my
oppress all of our kind.
own.
I've been in black American classes, African American history. I know what the word is for, what it was used for, and how it's been used.
You're just saying it's more like it
I
is
think
what
they
it
made it their
is.
own, they made it their own, and now
No,
it's just
no.
thrown in there.
And it's come to the point where it's sharp as thunder going in circles with the word.
It's just sad to me. I'm sorry. It's just sad to me. To me, it's like you're literally giving them an egg to stand on. Like you're
Yeah,
not
but Sharp, I
using
understand where you're
anything.
coming from, but it's like to each his own when it comes to the word. Some people don't really like the word, and other people are just like, it's just a word. Long as they don't say it to me, it's just a word. You know,
Okay,
everybody can
so
say it, but a white Caucasian individual cannot
okay,
say it because we
okay,
know
so
when they say
Emerald.
it, it's of hate.
Okay. So take this. So take this. If I was to say faggot and faggotois, what would that mean to you?
A pile of sticks, because that's what that is.
Politics.
That's what that is. It's
Okay,
French. A
so
pile of sticks.
if I said when I said faggot, I would whoop your ass and chop your dick off. What would
But you
that mean
fail
to
to
you?
understand, Sharp. I know you, and
What
I
would
know you
that mean
don't
to
mean
you?
that.
I understand that. What if I was to say faggot and a bag of sticks and I would chop your dick off whenever I said faggot? What would you say?
I don't have to say
It,
anything.
Have you
I can
ever
just walk
gotten
away.
that before in real life? just a
No, I
situation.
have never gotten that word or been in a situation like that where someone called me a faggot. Or they was like, oh,
Dang, because
that punk, that gay nigga, and I'm just like, okay, and what's next? It's like
okay, so
you start
Emerald,
getting tougher skin as you get older, and the word means nothing anymore when you're in your 30s.
So you
okay,
you
well
really you
that's
really
his
don't know
case.
how you would
Okay,
feel if it was aggressively said towards you in a negative manner, do you?
right, right.
Yeah,
If
but
he
if it's
was not,
aggressively sold to me in a negative way, I still wouldn't care because that's all you have. You have
Okay.
Emerald,
nothing else to
you've
say
been
that can
born.
insult me.
You've been born in a very acceptable community. You've
And
been
I'm blessed
born
for that.
into,
I'm blessed for
yes, you
that. I
are
understand that.
100%. But black people, right? Like my great grandmother, she was called an N word, and guess what? People are saying here calling each other the N word with the A instead of the ER. So my great grandmother, who died at 97 years old, she was sitting here listening to children, her great grandchildren, calling each other the N word with the A at the end instead of the ER. Like how are we supposed to be just acceptable of this shit? How are we
Because
supposed
that's
to
her
just
experience
accept
with the
it?
word, not ours.
Oh my god.
But
Okay, okay,
I
okay,
understand where
Might
you're
go
coming
okay.
a
from.
lot
I
with how
understand, but
you
she
were
just
raised.
yes, that's how you was raised and what environment you was raised in with the word.
You respect it? Don't you respect the
Yeah.
past so you don't repeat it?
It's
Do
like a
you not
double-edged
respect the
sword
past?
here, man. Because I totally, because
It's not a
the
double. It's
reason,
I think
not
the
a
N word
double-edged
is just how
sword.
you were
It's very
raised.
simple. It's very simple. You respect each other. You respect humanity. You respect everybody and anybody who comes across your path.
you know
That's
when it's said in
easy.
love, though. You know when it's said. The thing
I
about it is,
understand, but Emerald is saying that if you sit there and say the N word with the A at the end instead of the ER, that's acceptable. That is not acceptable because that is not a name that was given to us. That is not a name that we made. That is a name that we appropriated to make it comfortable for us to accept, made by the white man.
well, let me ask you this. So,
Is that
Yes,
what
so,
we're
but
supposed to
that's
do for
his
everything?
opinion.
Yeah.
well,
It's
let me
his
just,
You're not
thought, his
gonna.
opinion.
let me just,
Just
let,
like you have your thought, your opinion.
Mhm.
And it is based with, to me, I mean, it is based on how you were raised. He was raised with the N word was just another word. You were raised more with, like, there was more respect to it. I was raised, it's not that I was raised. It's just, I mean, I've never said much about my upbringing, but I think I was always prone to the people of color because, growing up, I still remember my very first friend back in kindergarten and and she was a black little girl and I was her only friend and their last name was Harris. In my family, you know, I was adopted and they I mean, I didn't know it at the time, but growing up, once you start understanding things, my mother was racist. To me, my family were racist because they would make fun of me because I was friends with this little girl because she was black. And they would call me Harris because, that was that little girl's last name. And they would say I belonged to them. And, I would get picked on because I was friends with her. And like, like I said, I was adopted, and my so-called mother that raised me, it was even there was a incident that happened that when I was young that it stuck with me, and I think because of that, that's why I am the way I am. Where I was like, I will always respect people of color and the N word because what happened was we went to a restaurant and I remember sitting there next to my mother and all of us we had put in our order and all of a sudden she had turned and she saw a door open where you could see the cook, and because there was a person of color cooking, she made our whole family get up and leave just because it was a person of color that was cooking the food. So I guess it was instilled to me because they were racist. It was like I will not be like them. So it's kind of like I raised myself thinking I will never disrespect
I appreciate
someone,
you,
people of color.
100%.
And just like Emerald, he was probably raised where N-word is just another word. It's just like you said, the B word. I mean,
Okay, what about
and
gay?
you're offensive.
What about gay, Emerald?
Hold on,
Even
hold
gay,
on.
gay's just another word.
Let's pause for a moment and say that Hypnotic is invited to the cookout.
She is 100,000%. She's invited to my cookout, 100,000%.
You have definitely a place at the cookout.
Yes, I have a place for her at the cookout. She's not
solo
cooking
cuts.
anything, but she's gonna come to. Yeah, she's not cooking anything. She's not making nothing. She's bringing drinks and alcohol. But
I
she's
got my
invited to the
bib and I
cookout.
got my sippy cup. I'm ready. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She might put raisins in potato salad, so she's invited, but
I don't think she'll do that. I think she knows not to do that.
nah, I don't know. She don't cook.
Like, just if you make banana pudding, just make sure it's bananas in there.
Always has to have real bananas.
She can bring the liquor. That's all. She brings the liquor.
I'll bring the
She
liquor.
brings her ass.
That's all I
I
ask.
just bring the fire water.
I mean, Emerald, I'm sure you have experienced the same thing with you being gay, right? Like you
About
have
what?
not been wanting to be called certain things, right? Yes.
That's understand. Like a lot of people don't want to be called certain
Yes or
things,
no?
but
Like,
at a certain
what do
point,
you-
that's just
what-
the world.
Okay, but Emerald, what do you not like to be called? Something
At
that
this-
has been oppressive to you.
At this present
As-
moment in time,
Yes,
nothing really phases
yes.
me when it comes to bullying.
Okay, Emerald. Okay, so
Was
so
there
you're
ever a
special.
word
You're
before
special.
that?
But that's
So am
because he
I
was
wrong
born.
for trying to be an adult?
He was born in the 90s.
I was
No,
born
it's
in the
not
80s.
wrong, but even back then, like in
Oh.
your younger
but-
years, was there not a word that bothered you?
Say that again,
when I
Hypnotic.
was young, when I was younger, but as I grew up, I learned to just pay it for what it is.
But Emerald, even if
Sometimes
someone-
people only
if-
use that word or use
but
certain words because they have
but
nothing else on you.
If Emerald, if somebody was to associate you with the word faggot, right? You would be assaulted, yes or no?
It's like I can't answer this question because you gotta find a way to go around it.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the truth. It's what I'm trying to make you feel what I feel.
I feel what you. I
trying
mean,
to
I
make
understand
you-
where you. Sure, I understand where you're
You
coming
can't
from,
make
but
someone
at
feel-
my ripe age of
Mhm.
35, that doesn't affect me anymore.
I understand, and it doesn't affect me either. However, I do not use that word based on my feelings and what I have experienced. And I feel like you have not experienced the same amount of detriment as a black male homosexual that I have as a fucking Puerto Rican black homosexual as you. I feel like you have not experienced the same things that I have.
The
Because
only
I
time
think
I
you're
ever
wrong
experienced that was
there.
I was in high school and middle school. And then that was it. Once I got in my 20s, I never heard that word again.
bruh.
But my whole thing is, like, I feel like there's definitely credence on both ends. Like, there's validation. I think there's a way that it could, because for me, like, I side with
She
Miss
wants me to be
Sharpshooter.
offended.
I side with Miss
Yeah, sit
Sharpshooter
down.
and the use of it.
Oh, sorry.
But at the same time, I don't get offended if somebody says it to me. So I definitely, because I respect Emerald's view on it as well. Like, so I think it's a way that it could, for me, it can both exist. For me, I choose not to say
But
it.
Emerald's view is very different because Emerald's view has been much more accepting than mine has, and that's where I find the difference. It's because Emerald has been more accepted in his sexuality. And me personally, I wasn't able to identify myself as bisexual until I moved out of a whole fucking different country because of the environment that I was in, you know? And even as a bisexual, I have not been able to explore it because of the environment that I am in, you know?
Appreciate you for
So
being open about that.
I have not been able to explore my whole sexuality. Um, just because I've been trying to appease many different cultures of where I am at right now. So yes, I am bisexual. However, I have not been able to explore my sexuality because I am married to a male.
Okay, I think we're getting off the topic now. What does this have to do with anything?
Okay, whatever. But
She's just trying to say her upbringing and why certain
Nah,
words affect her.
no, but I'm just saying, like there's been a lot of things that
Shares
have
of
not been
challenges.
accepted. Even with you, Emerald, like you have been a male who has been attracted to whoever you've been attracted to, and you have not been able to explore that. However, you're sitting there using the N word because you find it in your culture and your environment with your parents or your grandparents or whatever the case may be. You have been able to use the N word liberally. But I'm just saying, like, that N word has literally been used to degrade you. And that's all I'm saying. Sorry. Okay, bye.
Sometimes it could be said in love too, though. You know, like
No, never has the N word been used as love.
nah, I'd have heard it. I'd have heard there's some love
But that's your
behind it.
experience with the word.
As
That's
what?
Like, there's some love behind it. Sometimes, like when people say it, like I done been offended with it before.
Okay, baby, go back.
Like you know, don't talk about people offer you warnings about people to try to protect people. Like, yo, don't fuck with that nigga. That's my nigga right there. You know. And I'm just saying it just now felt a little abrasive, but I just said it for the sake of just giving an example.
That was not racist.
Well,
That was not racist.
it was abrasive to me. Like I didn't feel like I don't know. Because I plan on putting this on the web and stuff. So, but at the same time, like I don't even get offended when it's said to me, but I don't like saying it. Sometimes I still say it, just in normal conversation. And but that feeling when I gotta watch what I say around people, if
You
I
don't
can't,
have to watch nothing.
yeah,
You don't have to watch nothing. Just say what you gotta say.
well, no, when I say like let's say if I'm using the word in front of somebody who isn't within the culture.
The N word? The N word?
Yeah, saying the N word in front of somebody who isn't within the culture makes me feel weird. And the fact that even exists.
What do you mean by not in the culture?
Well,
They're not black. They're not black.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
And you
So,
can even say in the culture.
no, okay, so I am part of the culture, right? And
Yeah.
I do not agree with the N word. But Mr. Sharpshooter is also part of the culture because he's married to me, according to white people, right? They have that
But
black
are y'all
friend.
African American?
See, with me, I don't even get
Mr.
offended when
Sharpshooter.
anybody of a Hispanic origin says it. Just to be honest, because I've heard
Right,
it
because
used.
they're part of it.
I heard it used in love from them as well. Like you could tell you could just tell. It's like either you're saying it with a certain pain in your voice or there's some love in there. It's never in between. Like and that's when it gets weird because when it comes off like somebody like my cousin, he'll randomly invite people to the party and you know, I have to watch myself because I've seen in different situations, yeah, I could drop the word and nobody says it. But then other times I might find myself saying it and then it seems like it's an invitation to others to say it. So that's where it becomes scary, in my opinion, you know, and that's where your point of view kicks in, Miss Sharpshooter. And I say, hey, well, you know, that's why I probably need to stop perpetuating this word. But at the same time, I understand that being one who used to use it liberally, like I used to make rhymes and rap and write it on
But do y'all
paper.
understand? Do you understand that you're literally not using a word that you came up with? You're literally using a word that you were oppressed with,
Yeah, that the white people
making it your
stole.
own.
They stole
Right.
that word.
So okay, yeah, they stole that word, right? And you're literally taking the word that was stolen and you're trying to make it your own by making an A instead of the ER? Make it make sense to me. Make it
you
make
know,
sense
letters
to me,
have
please.
meaning and they change words, right?
Make it make sense to me, please. Make it make sense. You're taking a word that your grandparents got whooped by, and you're saying, hey, it's not the same thing because we put an A at the end instead of the ER.
No, it's not
Make
the
it
same
make
thing because they
sense.
can't say that word anymore. Because they know if they
Bruh,
say that
it's still
word,
the
they can
same
lose their job.
thing.
They can
It's
lose
still
friends,
the
family
same thing,
members.
Emerald.
There's consequences behind their actions now.
There's
There's
That's
no
how it changed.
consequences. What consequences? What consequences? Tell that
Okay,
to
I want you to get a
tell
white
that
person to go to
to
a school and
Taylor.
call a black person the N-word and see what happens to her.
Put that
Are
out
you
on social
serious?
media, it's gonna
Are
set
you
ablaze.
serious?
I'm so serious. I want you to tell
Are
a
you
white person
serious?
the
Tell that
N-word
to
in any
Breonna
place of
Taylor.
establishment.
Tell that to Breonna Taylor. Tell that to Breonna Taylor, where she sat there and she was in her sleep and she got called an N-word and she
And
got
how long
shot
ago
in
was
the middle
that?
of the fucking bruh.
They just ran
Bruh.
into her apartment and shot her. Wrong apartment.
You're not understanding. You're not understanding. We will never be successful if we're on a different page.
Who
Well,
is
no, I
And
mean,
the pages,
she ain't on topic.
we, no, I'm not getting off
well,
topic.
we're
I'm
not.
not.
No,
I really am not.
we
Well,
gotta
all
You
due
can't
value
be.
our
respect,
You
it's
opinions.
gonna
you're
keep
getting.
going in a
You're bringing up
circle.
a word. You're bringing
It's
up a
gonna keep
word
going in a circle.
that they're using now. Like it's not.
You
No
guys are
matter.
using the N word, regardless of whatever the fuck you put at
Yes,
the
but
end.
and whatever you
You
say is
guys are
not gonna
using the
change
N
them
word to
from
try to
using it.
claim it back, and it's not claiming it back, bro. Like, literally, white people are not coming into the jail cells in massive attacks, bro. White people are not sitting there and coming in and replacing our black people because
Yeah,
they
but
were
whatever you say is
sold
not gonna make
weed,
them. It's
because they
not
were
gonna
selling
stop them.
weed, which is now legal. Like, come on, bro. Like, make it make sense. We were literally fed, hey, let's go to the prison to fucking, to education to prison pipelines.
Yeah,
That's what they were told. That's what we were told.
that's how
Hey,
you see a lot
we're
of that
not gonna be
sagging their
anything. We're
pants.
not gonna be doing anything. We're gonna go ahead and go to jail. If we cannot make ends meet, we're gonna go ahead and sell drugs. Like that's what we were told, and that is the
Who told
consequence
you
of.
that?
That is a fact. It's not me. It's not nobody
It's
telling
oh,
me
He
that.
said, "Who
oh my
told
God.
you
That is a
that?"
It's a
fact.
difference between being
That
told and
is
something
what
being a
it
fact.
is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Okay.
No, we
No, the
gotta.
way you're explaining it's not making sense. It's something I've been
Okay.
told.
Okay. So let me make it make sense to you. Okay. So when Roe versus Wade, right? They
Oh my
couldn't
God.
fucking get a. No, I'm telling you. I'm making it make sense to you, right? Am I making it make sense to you or not?
No, I mean, no.
I mean,
Let's.
I understand where you're coming from, but you don't have to get it's you getting too deep. Too deep. It's something that you can't change.
It's fact. It's fact. But
Yeah.
I know I
Yeah.
We
cannot
know it's
change it,
fact, but you
Emerald.
can't change
I
it.
know I cannot change it, Emerald.
That is
But
a good
guess what?
point.
I can change you saying, hey, Nick, hey, N-word with the A, I can make you change the way that you see how you say the N-word with an A or an ER.
But I think
Yes
he
or no?
totally sees where you're coming from. He's just saying that,
I don't think so. I don't think so because he says that that's how he was raised.
But he understands what you're saying, but that's how he was raised. Like that word's gonna be used
All
that
right.
way.
certain
Thank
relationships
you.
that he had, like the relationships he has with his people and the people he communicate in his family, is like, they have, it's like they have their own
Like they made
relationship
it
with the
their
word.
own. Like
Yeah, because like what I'm trying to say is that my relationship with that word is not seeped in racism as the way she's seeing it. She's seeing it for her. That's what's like it's like it's getting too deep to the point that like I understand where she's coming from, but at the same time my mind is not really gonna change on it unless otherwise.
You gotta
and
respect that.
I understand what you're saying, but you're not like it's not even just black people using that. Everybody uses that word now.
Yeah, I did.
It's like the word and the consequence that comes with that word is a case by case basis. It's always been like that.
It really has though. Like I've
If this person said we cool, it's good. If this person said I know that you take it offensive. If this person said, oh hell no, you know what I'm saying? Case by case.
Shouldn't be case by case. The N-word should not be used by any black person anywhere, in any case, or any shape, or any form known to mankind. Because the N-word was used by a white man, used to whoop a black person. So an N-word should not exist, whether the ER or the A, or you're taking it back, whatever the case may be. You're literally giving the white person who made the word to whoop us and whip us into submission valuable. So the N word should not be exist.
Okay.
agree
That's my
with you there.
opinion.
Those are all very true statements. But just it's like, well, you gotta meet people where they are now. Like to correct that, we'd have to go back.
Emerald is in a different is Emerald is in a different class of his own.
Why is Emerald in a different classification?
Because he's gay. He's a gay black man.
But what
But
does
is she
that have
not
anything to
bi?
do with him being
Me
I
being
am
black.
bi.
into
I
the
am
N
bi.
word?
I am bi. But guess what? I don't use the
But
N word.
I'm
But you
still
do.
black. It's like me being
But you
black and gay.
do.
Me being
But
gay
you
has nothing
do.
with doing with the N word.
And
I'm
that's
gay
his right.
too.
If he wants to use the N word,
But here's the thing: is my opinion. My opinion matters, right?
it does matter,
And
but you
But
he
opinions
can't
are
doesn't.
not
He
change
doesn't
facts.
have. He
somebody
does not
just
have
because.
to accept my opinion. My opinion is, if you're sitting there using the N word to people who it was made derogatory of. The N word is a derogatory name. So if you use the N word, it's derogatory, no matter
And
what.
like I
If you have
said,
the
it depends on
ER
who
or
you're
the
using
A.
it to. Because
Okay.
everybody's not going to feel the
Okay.
same way that you feel about the N word.
Okay,
I'm
but
not going to call somebody. I'm
I
not
feel
going to use the N
different
word to
about the
somebody
word
who I know is
bitch
going to be
because
very disrespectful.
bitch. When I say hey bitch, whatever the case may be, hey
We're going to keep
bitch,
going in
whatever the case may be.
circles.
No,
With
no.
all due
When I
respect, can
say
we go to the next subject?
okay, yeah.
We're just going to keep going in circles. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, we'll and I do appreciate. This is
Yeah, I
definitely
think
one
we
of
need to go
those
back to the
things.
gaming.
Yeah, we'll go back. We'll revisit this another day, because and
No, the
open it
N
up.
word was literally made to make feel made peop, to make people feel less than. Bitch was never made to feel make people feel less than. However, men made it a thing to call a woman a bitch because they were not submissive to them. And that's why I take bitch so seriously. Like I'm like, hey bitch, what you doing? Because that is playful. But hey N word, what you doing? Like no, that's not cute. Because that was used by the white man to fucking submiss the black
Okay.
people.
Are we changing the subject?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go to the next subject. But I do want to say that I do respect your views, Miss Sharpshooter, and thank you for expressing them.
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to the gaming, what makes you give up on a game? Like, what's something that'll make you just you get on a game and you're just like, I'm done with it.
If it's unbalanced as hell, that's the only time. Like, wait, now I'm stuck here because I can't do nothing. Uninstall. Like I was like, wait, something don't seem right. Why it feel like I'm supposed to have like a certain gun or a certain party member at this point, and I'm not getting it? But it's like in the beginning of a game, everything start off easy, then all of a sudden this difficulty spike comes out of nowhere, and it's like, am I missing something? Am I supposed to be that pro at this moment? So it's like that's what make me stop
So
playing. Like if it's unbalanced, it's like,
my thing, my thing is like, let's say the division, right?
Yeah.
The division. You guys sit there and you grind your perfect loadout, right?
Uh huh.
So my perfect loadout is one that I can shoot you and shoot you fast because I like to shoot people. But there's other people who will sit there and be like, I'm a tank and I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade my shields and I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade my dexterity and upgrade everything that makes you a shooter less than, right? So I can sit there and be the best person to shoot a motherfucking team out, but a person who invested in shields and tanks and stuff to make them die less, they will invest their time in that. So that's what will turn me off because I feel like there should be an even playing field and a balanced playing field so that someone who is gonna shoot me, I can shoot them, and we will determine who is the best person based on our shooting. Not based on how much time you've invested in to make it so that I shoot you and you can survive it.
Okay.
Like that. I think for me, like, what makes me give up on a game is like, if it's just really, really hard, and I know that's like a really, really not cool thing to say when you're a gamer. So, but it's the truth though. Like, again, I know that a lot of people love Dark Souls, and I love watching people play it. But I just don't have the patience to just lose. Or Cuphead,
Yeah.
they went old school because they're like, I can't do this.
it
It's
looks
like
fun.
yeah, Dark Soul can be fun too. It's just a learning process. Like you have to be careful about around every corner you go in. You just like it teaches people to be patient and slow down a little bit. Cause if you rush your headlong into stuff on Dark Souls, you gonna get messed up so quick. Cause you just triggered a booby trap. Oh, the booby trap had poison and fire on it. Now you dead. Now when you go back through that area again, you gonna be like, oh, let me slow down. Cause last time I came through here, I died from a booby trap. And then you turn a corner, it's a whole monster right there. It's like you learn the layout and what's going on in the new surrounding because you've never been in there. Ooh.
Through trial and error.
But
Mm-hmm.
why? Like, do I see it?
Hypnotic. What was
Sorry.
that?
I was trying to
Stuff on
figure
this
out what it
TikTok
was.
over here. Sorry.
It looked crazy. It sounds interesting. But yeah, that's yeah. What about you, Mr. Sharpshooter? What makes you give up on a game?
If I'm not getting better at it.
Ooh. So you like for it to be intuitive, easy to
I like
catch
giving it
on.
a try. And I mean, if I'm not getting any better or progressing, then I'll just stop.
Nice. So what's a game that you had to do that in as a like the last game you remember doing that in?
I mean,
Fortnite.
I hate playing Apex, but I still play it.
No, Fortnite. So Fortnite, he used to hate with a fiery passion, and then he got better with it. So he was like, okay, let me go ahead and play this.
No, but he said what game made me not want to do that?
Like what makes you give up on a game?
If I'm not progressing. So I told him Apex.
I'm
What,
sure you
you
do
gave
good.
up on Apex?
Yeah, but I play it to play with you.
But you didn't give up on it because you literally been asking me questions about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better at it, but I mean, it's not really something
Right.
where I'm gonna be
So
like,
that's
oh
what the
man.
question is. It's like, what game have you played where you were like, I'm not even gonna play to get better at it?
I think that's what Mister's trying to say is that he don't care for Apex, but he's willing to learn and try to play this game because he's wanting to play with you. So he's only playing this and wanting to learn so he can play it with you.
It's like more time
But
y'all
he
have
don't
together.
care for it.
Yeah.
I get that, and I do that sometimes with stuff like I didn't like to watch the Housewives, but man, I
What
stopped.
was your question? What was your question again? Thinking of
It was what makes you give up on a game.
mm,
It's a weird question.
You
I give you
answered that.
that.
You said it was a
playability,
you said it was a division.
playability. Because I loved. I want to say the one game that I was really engulfed in was Tomb Raider, the first one that came out for Xbox 360. Like I literally was so engulfed in the world and the puzzles and everything that was up with it. But once I finished it, it was like whatever, you know. I think that the playability is based on players' interests. So,
Yeah.
um, if someone who is like me, who is completely engulfed in the Tomb Raider world, if there's nothing else to explore in the Tomb Raider world, I'm not interested anymore. You know, Apex literally is like who's the best at um their level. So who's the best and how are you ranked against the other people? However, if I was to get a game in like Tomb Raider, where it was like who can beat this world, I would 100,000% rather play Tomb Raider than Apex Legends.
Yeah.
What about you, Hypnotic?
What?
What game would you say that you were engulfed in?
That wasn't even the
The
question.
game I was engulfed in was was Black Ops, but that was because I was, rank 4 in the world on domination. So I would wake up, sleep, breathe, live, and play that.
Oh,
But only because I was rank 4 in the world.
that is crazy. I would love to see some gameplay from those runs.
You see, so it's trajectory.
So she was fourth in the world, and she wanted to be the best. So that's what I'm saying. It's like if you had an aim.
That's a good question though. What game have you been engulfed in? I like that. So let's see. Mr. Sharpshooter, what game have you been engulfed in? It's a much better question though.
I would say Halo. I would have kept playing it, but I don't have a team. Just to try to reach max rank.
You talking about this new Halo?
Yeah.
Hey man, if you, I'll let me know about teams, man. I'll get on there. For real.
What's
for
your
real.
rank?
Oh, I don't even know. So you might not want me on your team, but I think I do all right on there.
Okay.
So you could tell
What
me
about you, Emerald?
Yeah. What about you, Emerald?
Wait, what was the question? Oh shit. Ooh.
Well, I guess you have
What
your
game
pick.
has you engulfed?
You have your pick.
What game I get in? It's like if it has like a good system, I could do stuff that's imaginative and like combos and stuff. Like one game I was engulfed in was like Bayonetta. Like, ooh, let me get a new weapon. Got a new weapon, tried out the combos and stuff on that. It's like, let me see if I can go platinum with said new weapon. It's like stuff get added on and added on and added on, so to the point you be like, damn, I've been on this game for like 5 hours.
I played a little bit of Bayonetta. It's just stylish. So stylish.
Yeah, because I could get into Bayonetta, but I couldn't get into Devil May Cry.
Yeah, shit already. She said
The
black.
answer.
I mean ghosts.
You have nodded.
Already
It was
answered.
Black Ops. Because she was number 4 in the world domination.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was another one, it was before I even was with Xbox. I played a lot of WoW, World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
I was
MMOs
engulfed
will
in that
pull you
too.
all the way in.
I gotta try it.
Okay, so what was the game? So what was the game for each of you that made you determine that yes, I'm a gamer?
How far back we gotta go?
Yeah, that's a good
Halo
one.
2.
Whenever you determined that yes, you were a gamer. So so let me go ahead and give my example. Is that my grandmother used to whoop my ass on Mario. It was like the regular Mario game, but they had multiplayer and a secret level. So my grandmother used to
Super
whoop
Mario
my
2.
ass all the time on that Mario shit and the Nintendo, and we had to blow the cartridge and shit.
Super
And
Nintendo.
when I finally whooped her ass, she literally cried for like 2 months because I would whoop her ass. But it took me like 6 years. It took me like 6 years to whoop her ass, but she would literally cry and she'd be like, "Oh, why?"
I'm dead.
But
Wow.
that was my grandmother. Yes. So that was my realization that I was a gamer.
Well, my realization was when I was always into art, like drawing, painting, making sculptures and stuff like that since, I want to say elementary school. And since then, like when I saw video games for the first time, it was like a Super Nintendo, and my cousins was playing like Killer Instinct or something, and they was just fighting and doing all these little combos and stuff. And then they start playing Street Fighter. I said, "Oh, I like all these, the art style and the colors and kicking each other's asses." And then it went to Mario, and then the next thing you know, I got a Super Nintendo, and then I got a Sega playing all the classic stuff. So that's when I know I was like really into video games because of the art styles and the drawings and stuff.
Yeah, great taste.
Because I was a Super Nintendo kid too.
Yeah, that's like damn near everybody unless you was born playing the Atari, which I actually got to play in my lifetime.
Oh wow.
It's like my mom got an Atari. It's like your mom has an Atari, and she was like playing Pong and something else and Snake and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is way back. What? He sleep.
Put that on a CRT.
CRT yellow red, yellow red white wires.
Oh man, good old days.
Big body TV, big body.
That used to be the thing. You have to have the biggest
Hypnotic?
TV.
She said hers. Martin's Nest.
What?
No, I only heard yours, Emma.
Oh,
When
she
did
was.
you realize that you were a gamer?
When crack was cheap.
I don't think of myself as a gamer. I just play fun. I do it.
Okay, when did you realize that you like gaming?
When I was 19.
That was like
What
5
game
years
was
ago.
it? What game was it?
She can't remember
She
that
got
far
me
back.
thinking about a long time, man. I know.
What game was it? What game
I'm
was
trying to
it?
think what it was. Put me on the
Oh.
spot like this. I want to say it was Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh,
She in that new generation.
yeah, that was a. I played a little bit of that. That was a pretty good game. Very colorful.
Yeah.
What you king?
For me, it was Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Child, don't even get me started on Street Fighter. I used to get headaches, like literally get headaches. Try to beat M Bison bitch ass. My Chung Li.
He's the worst.
What about you, Lib?
Halo,
Halo?
Halo.
Yep.
First
the
one?
original, the first one.
Wow.
Xbox? The first one?
Yep,
Nothing before that.
the first one.
Were you in
Combat Evolved.
So, okay, so I used to,
LAN parties?
in junior high school, in junior high school, I used to bring my quarters to the pizza shop because the pizza shop had them shooting games. Was it like Crisis?
Oh yeah.
The pizza shop had Crisis. The pizza shop had House of the Dead.
Yep.
And the pizza shop had Pac-Man. So I would usually keep my quarters and play the Pac-Man and the fucking Crisis and the House of the Dead, and I would literally save. I wouldn't eat my lunch just to save my quarters for those games.
Oh, that's how you
That's
know
when
it was
I
gaming.
yeah.
I did the same
That's
thing.
when I know that I was.
But we had
That's when I knew I was a gamer.
A big ass arcade.
That's a good one.
We had a big ass arcade that I used to go to, like, I think it was EB Games before it was GameStop.
Oh wow.
Just be walking through there looking at all this new shit that came out. And then like I had invested in my first what I got? The PS1 when it first came out, and they had DDR up in there, Dance Dance Revolution and everything. I bought like the pads and everything. Had my whole house hooked. I had them so hooked to this day. They be bringing up memories of playing this song called Japan on DDR. He's like, you remember that game we used to play when we was kids? That yeah. I was like, I was like, you always bring that up, but that was like childhood, good times being a gamer.
R.I.P. the
Everything was so
arcades.
fresh. Oh my god, they would shut down Penny Lane. I almost cried.
And then
I was like, I
R.I.P.
had
the
nowhere else
game
to go to be a
stores.
nerd.
Even
GameStop.
Fable. Once I got into the games, I was like, okay, let me go ahead and get the system. And then Fable, I think it was the first one. Fable, the first one came out, and you were able to play with like another person. I was like, oh shit. Let me go ahead and fuck this person, fuck that person. Okay, let me get this person's armor, whatever the case may be. And it was like, who came back with the best shit, you know?
That Fable 2 for me.
Fable.
I was mad they canceled Fable Legends. Like they had it working everything, and I was just like, oh, I can't wait. And it's like, cancel. Cause I got hooked on Fable and Fable 2,
So Fable is
the
a
second
good
one.
game to play.
Okay, so if there was one game, only one game that you could play if you were on a deserted island, best Wi-Fi, and you could only play one game, what would it be?
The Final Fantasy genre.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You'd never be bored.
And
For me, it'd
Hypnotic?
be Tekken
Kimo?
7.
Second?
Tekken 7.
That's all I need. Like,
Okay. Hypnotic? Sharp?
Halo 3.
You and this Halo.
Okay.
What? Okay, let me
Hypnotic?
ask you. No, no, no. Let me ask you. What it is about Halo that you love so much? That's all you've been playing.
The ranking, man.
So it's
Just
not the
the
single
ranking
player.
system. No, it was. I
Oh.
mean, the campaign was good, but it was the multiplayer, the ranking system.
So you're just a competitive
I agree.
individual. Competitive.
I got to hear more about this ranking system. We'll get into that when we start formulating teams.
You never
Hypnotic,
played Halo.
what
Wait, you
game-
never played Halo.
Hypnotic, what game would you play?
I don't know. I don't know anymore since I don't play much now.
Okay, if there was only one game that you could play, no matter what, and only one game that you could play till you got rescued, what would it be?
Mm. I guess Call of Duty, because there's different types of games, so I'll never get bored.
It's a solid choice.
Uh-huh.
Can't go wrong with a good COD. So let's see. What else we got here? I don't think anybody's a Cyberpunk player here. No Cyberpunk players.
Oh, 2077.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it.
Have you had a chance to try the next gen upgrade?
Oh, nah, not that shit upgrade, but I played it when it first came out. For some reason, I guess I lucked out. Because when I was playing, I had no issues, no bugs, no crashes, no game save files deleted, nothing. So I was enjoying it very thoroughly. I had like the Mantis Claws for fighting, and I think I was a melee user mostly. I only used range if it was like a last resort because I was a fighter type. So if I killed something, I got HP back.
Let me ask you this: do you own a Nintendo Switch?
Yes, I do.
Oh wow! See, look, we missed out on that part of the conversation. I just recently got a Switch, and I'm loving it. I didn't think I was gonna love it as much as I do, but I love it.
I want to get me one so bad.
You should.
They should be on sale now. They've been out for a good minute, and then a new one came out. The OLAE Switch came out. Yeah.
I was saving for a Switch, but then I was thinking about an Oculus because I've been really liking the Beat Saber
I love me some game
on
music.
Oculus.
Yeah, I seen that one.
I like any kind of music games.
I actually
Oh, so she.
own an Oculus too. Oculus 2 too.
Yeah, I got my boys one, and I really like.
It's the best. I was playing this one game called Blastion. And it's like the other person is shooting at you with they put random guns around you and everything's in slow motion, so you could grab a shotgun, shoot at the person, the bullets move slow. While they're shooting at you, you could grab a shield and everything's in slow mo. It's hard to explain, but in action it's crazy. So
Yeah.
and then I work out on my VR system too. I got like a fitness subscription to this little boxing workout shit, and I'll really be breaking a sweat.
Oh yes, I got the boxing one on there, and you do break a sweat.
Yeah.
That shit physically moving.
Yes, running into walls too. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm running into walls.
Oh
Punching
man,
walls.
that guardian system is crazy though. You could set up a guardian system to where if you do get close
So
to
wide range.
outside of your range, it'll just show like it'll show you your surroundings. It's crazy. The best investment I ever made because I had a PSVR and that was mind blowing, but the setup was just painful. You had to have this cord, coming out the back of your head like you're in the Matrix. It was just rough, tripping over the cord. You really couldn't feel like you were there, but now I feel like we've gotten to the point to where that Oculus 2 doesn't even need a PC. But now that I got a PC, I'm gonna try some of these more premium VR titles and see what that's about. But I'm really liking just the Oculus titles alone already. So there's this battle royale game called Population 1. Sickest shit in the world. Just so sick. Like when you aim down, you gotta take both your hands and aim down and look through the scope. And I'm actually kind of fire at that shit. I be shooting them. So satisfying, and the player base is so friendly too. So, dude be like, "Hey man, climb like this," because you could climb walls and everything. Probably post some content like that.
Get your little stream on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I used to do that shot. Remember? Oh, she went to sleep.
I don't know, probably. Either that or she went to the bathroom.
Oh,
One or the other. Mister,
Martin.
Yeah.
you fell asleep?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You fell asleep. Fell asleep on the podcast.
That's all right.
Dud.
I figured she would pass out.
We have been running for quite a while. So I really do
Running how
appreciate
long?
it. Like this has been great. I got a couple of games I'm finna try. I got Escape from Tarkov. And I'm gonna
That's Tarkov.
It's not Tarkov. Did I spell it wrong?
Oh, I thought you said like the Is it the game with the shooting the the robots, the dinosaurs and stuff? If I'm not mistaken.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know it had some type of looting mechanic that interested me. So I'm definitely giving that a try. And we'll give further review to it. It definitely sounds interesting.
Ah, it's a battle royale. Okay.
Oh, it's even battle royale too. It's not like just a structured small match. I'm all over that. It says you can extract this stuff and keep it and go into the next match with it.
Yeah, it's a battle royale. Escape from Tarkov. Oh. Bye.
Please.
Nighty night.
Well, I guess it's time to end the stream.
Yeah,
It is getting late.
Definitely time to wrap this thing up. This has been the Kimo Corp podcast. Yeah, everybody, you want to say your sign outs to everybody? Or
Yeah, it's my first time on the podcast.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
There you go.
Everyone have a good night and a good morning. Be blessed.
Absolutely. You guys have a great one. Thank you for listening, and really appreciate everybody for coming out for this. Thank you a lot. You know, I will be keeping y'all posted on how this does, and if there's any monetary value, we'll divvy it up.
Get my 5 cents.
I want my penny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and just make sure you let her know. She want to
I'm
be
done.
she want to be in the next one.
Oh
I'm
Lord.
sure.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, because like I said, because last one we did was like over a year ago, and I definitely want you
Damn.
back out here too if you want to come, Mr. Sharpshooter, because you've definitely been an
Yeah, I'll
excellent
come
addition.
back.
Yeah, man, always welcome. Because we'll be doing this again probably next week or something, and we'll work something out with everybody's schedules. But thank you guys once again. I want everybody to have a great night. We're going to go ahead and end this. Good night, everybody.